Yo, what's up everybody? Thanks for tuning in. My name's Tyler. Watching another great game of Age of Empires today between the Viper and MBL 40C. This is game 2 of a series. I won't spoil game 1 in case you're watching it out of order, but I will say that I'm watching these for the first time while making these videos. Game 1 had a lot of laming, and that's all I'll say about it. Pretty interesting game. It looks like these two players are playing a little bit of a tournament style friendly here. So both of them willing to do a few lame things in game 1, so maybe we'll see a little more of that in game 2. We can see the Viper here playing in blue. He says Turks. M is in red. He's playing as Celts. So again, a non-mirror Civ game on Arabia for these two, and it should be an interesting one. If we look at M's map, again, he's here in red as Celts. We can see he has his berries to the side, his gold to the side, a big deer patch over here, both boars on the front, gold on the front, sort of in a no man's land. His main stone is also kind of in a no man's land. So all in all, not a terribly good map for M. We might see some aggression out of him to try to protect these resources since he won't be able to wall up his own side. But we'll see what happens as the game goes on. In the Viper side, we can see a little bit more structure. If he does want a wall, he does have some trees to work with here and a couple of cliffs. His berries are off to the side. The Viper's gold and stone in the front. The stone here is in a pretty awkward position behind this wood line. The gold is also a little bit awkward here, so we'll see how he defends those. His secondary stone on the front, which is sort of in no man's land. He does have this really nice gold pile in the back, which is in a very nice protected area. So I would expect to see Viper taking this gold in the feudal age, but I guess we'll wait and see. And he is the Viper, so you just really never know what he's going to do. As far as laming goes this game, I haven't seen anything lame so far. Nobody's killing deer or walling up resources or killing or stealing sheep. But you never know what's going to happen. This villager here is... it looks like M is going to come in and attack that villager, which is strange since he's in the Dark Age. He should lose that battle. But she's not loomed. So M is getting some hits in on a non-loomed villager. She tries to put down a palisade, but doesn't do it in time. And it looks like M is going to steal a villager in the early game. So a little bit of early game shenanigans from M. Interestingly, he also housed Viper for just a few, maybe 15-20 seconds there, which is going to give him another advantage. M is coming forward here scouting. He can see Viper's map. If he finds this gold, he'll probably presume that that's going to be where things are taken from. I don't know why I'm telling you what he would presume, but I just did. The Viper, on the other hand, if we look at his fog of war, we can see that he's really only scouting his side at the moment. So potentially he's going to play this in a defensive way, but we never know. That's why we play the game. I'll speed this up a little since the Dark Age looks pretty normal for these two guys. The Viper having 3 on wood. It looks like M is going to have 4 on wood. So potentially we're going to see some militia from M, either in the Dark Age or in the transition to feudal. M coming over here with his mill. He's a little bit behind Viper in that aspect, but he's ahead of him by 1 villager. We can see that here on this nice little dashboard that we have. So M with the early advantage, and it seems to be his game to lose at the moment, although his map is not the greatest. Fortunately for him, the Viper has not even bothered to scout out that map of M's. So M's resources are in terrible spots, but the Viper doesn't know, and what the Viper doesn't know can't hurt M. So we'll see how it works as we move through the Dark Age here. So M has now chewed up his 2 boars, building his first farm. The Viper just finishing up his boar. He's going to transition to his sheep. It does look like he's found all of his sheep. He does have... M does have his sheep as well. Has the Viper come forward to scout at all? Not at all yet. Where is his scout at the moment? His scout's here in the back, and it looks like he's just looking at every nook and cranny of his map, and I would expect to see him wall himself in. but who knows. We can see M is now grabbing Loom. The Viper still doesn't have Loom. We might see him click up before getting it. That's not terribly uncommon for him. He's actually going to send a villager forward here to, not forward, but to the side here to grab some stone, potentially a tower rush from the Viper, and he's grabbing some deer here. Awfully long walk back to his TC, so maybe we'll see a mill there in a few moments from the Viper. But the Viper not looking to be in a terrible rush to get up to Feudal Age. He's on 23 now. He has 2 more villagers in the queue. So he's going to go up on at least 25, maybe more. So potentially a fast castle build from the Viper. M has chosen to take this front gold, even though it's quite vulnerable. He's going to palisade that in. At least this villager is going to be palisaded in, which seems wise, since he will obviously be pressured there at some point in this game. Presumably. M going up with a barracks, that will go up right as he hits feudal, and it will allow him to put down his stable or archery range, and we'll see what he tries to do. Until then, let's look over here at the Viper. We can see that he's on 370 food. He's starting to put villagers on stone. He's got a villager here on gold. He's put a mill up to grab these deer. But all in all, he doesn't look in a rush to click up. 2 more villagers on the way. Still does not have Loom. So the Viper really going for what I would presume is a fast castle. But we'll see as we go. It looks like M is coming potentially forward with these villagers. 3 of them building a house out here in no man's land doesn't make a lot of sense. This militia coming and probably a few more behind him. Yep, so 3 militia coming from M. And these villagers are finishing off those palisades. And will they be coming forward? Dun dun dun, the suspense. Oh, here they come. Okay, so 3 villagers with hammers coming forward. 3 militias with clubs. And 1 scout coming forward to bother the Viper. And we'll see where they end up going. M is clicked up to men-at-arms. That's an interesting move, suggesting that he's going to be really aggressive with potentially building more of these. And trying to pick off villagers with them and not just do harassment. Get actual villager kills. We can see the Viper has clicked up to feudal. He's on 27 villagers at the moment. M is obviously going to catch up to him while the feudal age research is happening for the Viper. M has gotten double bit axe and horse collar. He's really investing in feudal age upgrades now, which suggests to me that he's going to be very aggressive in the feudal age, which we can obviously see from these men-at-arms and this scout. And it looks like right away that aggression is going to pay off by him grabbing one of these gold miners and pushing the Viper off his villagers, off of his gold mine. Will he get another? This villager's awfully low. Looks like she's going to go... Yep, she's going to go down as well. So the Viper... so M getting 2 more villagers there, and really an aggressive tower location from him here. Surprised that the Viper isn't going with a counter tower, since he can see this. One would presume that those stone miners can see this. Let's see. Yep, they can see that villager putting up the tower, but they are going to be harassed off of their stone mine. There isn't going to be a counter tower here from below. It's not going to be up in time. And we see that M has got a tower up. This is a beautiful location. He's pushed the Viper off of this gold with that tower. He's pushed the Viper off of this stone. And he's really limited this side of this wood line. So all in all, M doing a really great job pushing the Viper away from his own resources. Interestingly, I see a few blue dots over here. It looks like the Viper has pushed out of his own area to take some gold in the middle of the map. It looks like he's going to potentially be discovered by these men-at-arms that are coming in reinforcement. But is he going to stay there in mine? We will see. Yep, looks like he is. Meanwhile, the Viper getting one of M's men-at-arms for free here. M is not paying attention, so unfortunately he's going to lose that guy for nothing. But he has pushed the Viper off of his wood line, off of his main gold and his main stone. He's gotten a few villagers, and we can see the villager difference here is 5 at the moment for MBL. So M's got to be feeling good about his chances this game. He's got a forward archery range. He's going to be able to start putting in some archers here and doing some harassment. and he should be able to really shut down a lot of Viper's economy. Potentially these berries. If he can stop Viper from taking this gold, he might also have an advantage. But for the moment, the Viper is not worried about his own resources. He's taking the stuff in the middle of the map. M does not know about this. If we look at Fog of War, so Viper is hidden really almost in plain sight. But sometimes the best place to hide is right in the middle of the map. And we can see that the Viper has clicked up to Castle Age. So the Viper is going to be at Castle a lot earlier. He's going to potentially have some gold by the time he gets there to build some units. Quite a few villagers here coming forward, but they're going to be pushed back by these men-at-arms. One of those villagers going down for the Viper. He's going to take this fight and lose a second villager there, leading M to an 8-villager advantage at the moment. And it looks like M is going to push the Viper back. Ooh, the Viper with some bad micro here. This villager's probably going to go down as well. So the Viper losing 3 villagers on the transition to castle, and whatever he was planning to do out here was also thwarted. So the Viper not having a ton of success at the moment. The only good thing he's really got going for him is this area in the middle of the map where M has not found him yet. Let's see if M can see those villagers moving around. It doesn't look like he's going to. So the Viper is still undetected, really a stone's throw from his opponent's base. So the Viper really investing everything. I mean, if these villagers go down right now, if they're even discovered by M, I would think that this is game over. But as long as they're not discovered, the Viper has a chance. M is over here harassing again. It looks like he's going to grab another villager potentially. One more hit on that villager, he will not go down. So the Viper is going to protect that villager. M is now taking Viper's stone, and he's starting to mass up some archers, as we can see just popping out now. The Viper is going to take lumber on that side of his base. The Viper is up to castle first. M has not even clicked up yet. So the Viper's up to castle. He's actually got quite a bit of stone. He's mining stone here, and we're going to see how he proceeds forward. His problem is back at home. He has no units on the field to protect his villagers from these archers. He has this one scout, which M will probably take down in just a few moments. And then his wood line is going to be very strongly harassed here. We can see M is taking away this wood line. He still controls the front gold and the front stone of Viper. And Viper is just happily mining away, undetected by M, at least for the moment. And here's where things are going to get interesting. M is going to come forward, or Viper is going to come forward into M's line of sight. He's going to put a castle down. M has no units around to defend this, so he's going to drop a watchtower in defense, which is a wise move. He's going to be able to potentially pick off quite a few of these villagers before this castle is finished. So a little bit of drama here. The Viper really doing a desperate move, as you have to when you're behind, and we'll see if it pays off. M needs to put some villagers in this guard tower, and he finally does, and he's going to start picking these villagers off pretty quickly. He's also got his villagers here involved and a man-at-arms involved, and there's the good game from the Viper. So, game 2, not a very long game, only 20 minutes of Age of Empires time. M able to get the win really by coming forward and putting one of the best towers I've seen in a while, able to really take away a lot of the Viper's resources with that one tower, and also able to get forward with some men-at-arms. He got a whole bunch of villagers and really constricted the Viper. The Viper gambled over here, which I suppose you should. If you're losing a game, you should take a gamble, and the gamble didn't pay off. That castle was just a little bit too aggressive. M saw it, and he reacted perfectly. So, there you go. Viper versus MBL. Game 2 is in the books. It is 1 win for MBL, and I won't spoil Game 1 for you. But tune into that. Tune into Game 3, and I'll see you soon. Bye.